TikTok is the best source of information for coding advice, said no one ever. However, like every topic on this planet, there is a sizable amount of people that make coding TikToks, including myself. However, this video is not about me. Instead, today we will be reacting to some of TikTok's best and worst coding advice.
ChatGPT is outdated for developers.
Did he just say that ChatGPT was outdated?
ChatGPT is outdated for developers.
He did. What the hell is that? Is it outdated for developers, guys? Is ChatGPT just done? I don't mean to sound like an annoying person, but I think this guy's talking about some sort of new and improved AI, but like, I don't know if ChatGPT is outdated. But anyways, I don't want to judge too much. Let's continue the video.
Coding Assistant generates accurate code for every snippet you save to your desktop app.
I
Plus,
knew
you can
he was
set custom context with your personal repositories, so you don't have to type out long prompts to get relevant code for your project. It's called Pieces Copilot, and it's boosting productivity for developers because it's embedded throughout your workflow. Use it in VS Code, Microsoft Teams, and even when you're completely offline for extra security.
Okay, I don't know how legit that app is, and it does sound like a cool thing, but just the way he's trying to frame it, although the app Pieces AI might be really helpful based on what he's saying, ChatGPT is not outdated. You can just prompt the GPT with the exact same stuff, and it works just as fine. And I think either this guy got a payment from this team, he's just trying to make content for the sake of content, which a lot of people fall into, including myself sometimes. But hey, let's just see how he ends this off. Maybe he ends on a high note.
In VS Code, Microsoft Teams, and even when you're completely offline for extra security. So if you want to save yourself a lot of time while writing better code, go to pieces.app and try it out 100% free. Leave a comment if you need the link.
Okay. So it's free. Okay, he's just making like a video on it. Again, I don't want to come off as a hater because this is not like bad content at all. But at the same time, right, you're saying that one thing is bad and that you should use something else. Like, that's just confusing a new developer. If I saw this as a brand new developer, I would have been like, oh my God, I cannot use ChatGPT anymore. I have to use this. And that's something a beginner can really fall into. Next up, we have a video from DevSlopes. Stop watching coding tutorials.
This is why you should stop watching coding tutorials. While coding tutorials can be helpful, they are not the best way to learn how to code. Sure, they can provide you with the basic understanding of programming, and you might learn a thing or two, but they may not prepare you for the real-world challenges you may face as a programmer.
Okay, again, this guy's saying don't use tutorials. It will not prepare you for the real world. And although that's true to some extent, what if you're a brand new developer and you don't know how to code? Let's say you like did a course on JavaScript. What do you expect it to do? Just jump straight into a project on your own? No, you're never going to end up at that level right away. There's some people that need to just go through a tutorial. They need to take their time with someone explaining each concept. I think being generic like this, saying everyone has to do this, is again just being confused. Anyways, let's continue this.
A very common phenomenon where if you build something along a tutorial, you get the sense of feeling that you're learning a lot, but in reality, you're just following a set of instructions without understanding the concepts and principles that you're working with. That's why building things yourself is the best way to learn. We call this...
Obviously, the goal is to build something on your own. What if you don't know how to code? You did a course. You still don't know how to code because you did just a course. You're told to build projects, so you just jump into a project on your own. You get lost. It's so overwhelming to these people. And then you just quit coding, because that's the story that I dealt with. And I think his intentions are good. He's just saying to like try to avoid tutorials as much as you can because you will rely on them too much. And I definitely understand where he's coming from. But also, as a new developer, what do you expect it to do? I came from a law background and I did not know how to code, and I needed these tutorials to really help me and guide me through how to build a project itself. And I think by just neglecting it completely is just as bad as totally relying on a tutorial as well. This video is from Paba Design, and the title of the video is Coding Tips for Beginners. So let's check it out.
Coding tips for beginners. The best way to learn is to practice with building projects. Here are some project ideas. Create a mini fridge using your favorite language. Develop a blog. A portfolio website.
Firstly, a big round of applause for Paba Design. Why, you may be asking? Because this is great advice. This has probably been the best of the three that we've reviewed so far. And honestly, just great advice. She laid out a bunch of great projects. Again, I'm looking at this from a new developer's perspective. Like, if I saw this, how would I react? If I found this, I would have been super excited. You know, some cool project ideas. You get a calculator, a mini fridge app, a blog, a portfolio project. Those things are still great for developers, even though this video came out over a year ago. And you'll just learn so much as a developer if you do these. So great. 10 out of 10 advice from Papa Design. This is really good. And yeah, on to the next one. So this video is from Imaduddin, and the title is How to Become a Software Engineer.
So I work as a software engineer for my day job, and I get quite a few questions from some people on how they can become one. Here are a few tips for you to get started. Tip number 1, pick a programming language and stick to it until you learn it properly. I'd recommend JavaScript or Python and use resources like Free Codecamp, Codecademy, or Udemy to learn them. Tip number 2 is to build projects in your own portfolio to practice and showcase your skills.
Freaking perfect advice. Pick a language and stick to it. I love to say this all the time. Who gives a fuck what the language is? Pick one, stick to it. You like Python, you want to be a backend developer, pick Python. JavaScript, same thing. If you like it, you like it. And the resources he laid out there were amazing as well. I used Free Codecamp to learn to code, and I also did a little bit of Codecademy, but good advice so far.
Tip number 3 is to network and build relationships. If you're in school, this is pretty easy, but if you're not, then try to go to company events and hackathons. And finally, tip number 4 is to interview prep by doing coding questions and get a solid understanding of data structures and algorithms. I hope this helps, and if you have any questions, put them down in the...
Man, we're on a solid roll here with these TikTok advice. This is really good as well. I think the 4 he laid out there was pick a language and stick to it, network, do projects for your portfolio, and learn data structures and algorithms by practicing interview questions. Solid advice. But yeah, if I was a new developer and I saw this, I would be super happy because this would be really, really helpful. Especially that networking one. Not a lot of people talk about networking. It's a pretty underrated one, but it could really push you far as a, finding a specific job you want or getting into a company that you really want to get into. But yeah, I'm super happy that we've gotten a couple good ones in a row here. Okay, and the final video here is again from DevSlopes. He says, listen close. I hope this one's better than the other one. No hate, bro, but...
Don't learn Python. Wait, I know. Don't hate me yet. Python is a great programming language, but if you're looking to make money fast as a programmer, listen close. Python by itself doesn't segue into any career paths. Like all things in programming, it's a tool.
Can you not be a Python developer, Python backend developer? Okay, whatever. Let's just keep listening. I want to just...
Most career paths, like web development, it is a tool that needs other tools to function properly, primarily JavaScript. So as a beginner, if you want to make money fast as a programmer, don't start with Python, start with JavaScript and get a head start.
What if you're a Python developer or you want to learn Python, you want to do backend, you don't want to be a web developer, and you want to get a job in that field? I think this is still not that good advice, man. Now look, he does make good points here. Unlike JavaScript, Python relies on a bunch more tools to use it, but you're not using Python for web development. So what's the point? Also, for the most part, if you just know Python and you know how to use it, you'll get good at the other things. Like for example, let's say you got Python down. If you needed to learn some other language or another sort of syntax, you'll find it pretty easy because you learned a language already. Again, I don't want to come off as like a just total hater because, it's somewhat good advice. Making money fast as a developer too, I don't like that. But I just don't see the point in avoiding Python. I know a lot of people that got jobs as a Python developer by just learning Python, getting good at data structures, and then interviewing for a job and getting it. Now, okay, if you want to be like an entrepreneur or you want to have your own software business or something like that, sure. You'll have to learn a bunch more things compared to JavaScript, where it's just one thing and you just build on top of it. But again, what if the case is you want to be a Python developer and you want to develop in Python? You're going to avoid it because it relies on other things? No. You're going to learn Python, you're going to get better at Python, and then you're going to learn the other shit. DevSlopes, man, come on. Every Python developer is probably fucking worried right now. Like, all right, so I want to end on a high note because, I want to hopefully end on a high note here. So this one's HTML is a programming language by Mr. Llama25. So let's just see what he says.
Here's how I would teach myself HTML if I was to start over again in 2022. First of all, HTML is not that difficult. Don't be a little bitch. You just need to know a few HTML tags and you are well on your way. So here's what I would do. Go to YouTube and search up HTML. Then go watch this video first. Then after you have absorbed the 2 minutes wisdom that is Fireship, hit the back button and go watch and follow this tutorial. And you should be really good to go. That's it. At this point, you should start to learn CSS so you can actually make a cool web page to show off to your friends if you have those. Bonus tips. Go back to the Fireship video, click on the first link in the comment, and start learning Emmet along with HTML. You thank me later.
Honestly, the best advice of the video. HTML is not a language, so this guy's just trolling. But in terms of learning HTML, even when it comes to JavaScript or any language, if you think about it, watch a video, watch a tutorial, do project. I don't think he talked about projects, but include that there. There's so many resources online nowadays where you can just learn shit. Again, I didn't come from a background of programming, and this is literally how I did it. I just went on YouTube, watched a bunch of videos, and got good at it. So this one, 11 11 out of 10 advice. But yeah, that has been TikTok advice. But yeah, if you like the video, please let me know down below. And also, if you want to join a like-minded group of developers, then I'll leave my Discord channel below. We have over 1,200 developers there. So, you know, if you want to have a nice little friend group, then I'll leave it below. And also, I'll leave my learning platform. There's a bunch of free cool shit there for you to build. And yeah, happy coding, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.